Today, it would seem, we awoke to half of the world collectively losing their shit for one reason or another. We dutifully went to cleaning rabbit cages yesterday on our small coastal Oregon rabbit farm and ignored the election because at this point there's literally nothing we can do about it. We watched Kung Fu Panda 4 after restoring our humanity by washing off the farm filth in a nice hot shower and went to bed as though it were just another day. Because, for Americans that believe in getting things done, in not letting petty concerns of culture war nonsense stand in the way of our duties, that is how things work. We had work to do, and so we did it regardless of distraction or concern. It was indeed just another day. And this morning, after carrying out the necessary duties of just another day and sleeping off the pains of our labors, we awoke to the world in complete and total pandemonium. The Trump-supporting neighbors are firing guns off into the air all over the place, screaming and crying out rebel yells and making it out like they've been given the call to war. Some Trump supporters, in some locations, are literally waving their dicks in people's faces. A significant portion of half of our population, the left-leaning women, are presently threatening to kill themselves. Everyone on the left is threatening to move to Canada or some shit, just like everyone does every single election over the course of our entire life. Kamala fans are crying out that this is the end of democracy and America and all that, the whole nation. People are grieving our country. People are crying that this is the rise of a second Nazi Reich. The world is over. There is no hope. We're all going to die. He's going to kill us. Or alternatively, the golden age has come. God is with us. Trump is the second coming of Jesus Christ. The woke mob will be put to the sword. We decided then and there, right at that moment, to take our dog out and get on with our day. Just as we will do tomorrow, and the next day, and every day after that. Because we do not see this, as so many seem to, as the end of the world, or the beginning of some amazing era of golden wonder and progress. We do not worry or agonize over the potential pain and suffering we will have to go through to remedy whatever horrors this coming administration has to offer, though we don't doubt that they exist. Trump, you see, is a known factor. And this will be the last election he is legally allowed to take part in. And our mind is already on the next election at that. Sadly, because we are a week too young, almost exactly, we could not run for this election, nor do we believe that we got in early enough to keep up. But next election, we will be able to do so. And we've come to the conclusion that this term will be a good time to break into higher politics. For you see, we have no illusions that Trump will do well for the American people. What his constituents want him to do, he will not do them. And certainly he will not do what the left wants. Overall, he will not do what we want, which is to create progress that positively affects the greatest number. We want our people, our fellow Americans, each and every one of them, to live in the comfort and security that Trump and his allies already do. We want our people to be fed, housed, educated, our streets maintained and cleaned, our infrastructure modern and capable of affordable and easy expansion. And we don't believe that Kamala will be able to deliver on that now, and we know that Trump has no intention of even considering the possibility of enriching anybody but himself. So let's face the facts. We have to slide back into the old adage. If you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. Kamala Harris has failed in bringing enough people together to rise up against her competitor, who himself only cares to stoke division and increase extremism and polarization in this fair republic. And extremism has been tearing our nation apart, tearing families and friends apart, driving a wedge in our culture. Do not think that this is some nebulous other that is destroying America, as the extremists want to say. It is us, and our urge to fight each other over problems that legitimately concern the smallest number. We have more important things to worry about. Do not give in to this blatant pageantry and theater. Do not be distracted by the extremists and their game to make you too busy fighting each other to take part in what is important. Do not despair. The donkeys have failed to protect you, if they ever intended to do so in the first place, and the elephants have failed to see you at all, as they stomp atop the common people with their bloated pride and self-importance. Now we will aim toward a path of reason and balance. Now we must look across the aisle and acknowledge that your perceived ideological enemy is, as they have always been, a fellow American. And now we must acknowledge that this is what the extremists want. They do not want us to get along to solve our problems together in solidarity and mutually beneficial cooperation. The sort of people who want you to despair, who want you to wave your dick in someone's face, who want this toxic culture war that has spread through our society. Those people want conflict and civil war. And your average fellow American is not that person. Do not turn to your fellow American and simply convince yourself that they are the enemy, that they hate you and want you dead just because they may or may not have voted for a cult leader that has repeatedly lied, cheated, and committed criminal acts to get ahead of the election. We don't know a single Trumper in real life that actually knows about Trump at all, who understands and acknowledges his policies or what they will do on the large scale. We haven't met a single average person who has voted for Trump in this election or any other who has been properly informed of the person they are voting for, through an unbiased lens of raw facts and statistics that they can understand easily. Who has been, in one way or another, directly educated on Trump's history or his promises for the future. They are in the MAGA crowd for community, for safety, for security, and like-minded company, just as the Democrats are, just as any of us might be. Nor have we found a single person that we actually can talk to who has based their choice to vote for Kamala on anything other than this being the single most important election of our lives, just as every election in our entire 34-year life has been. The two choices for as long as we can remember have been stick to your community and vote Republican because you want to own the libs and be faithful to your party, or stick with your community and vote Democrat because you want to own the right and be faithful to humanity. And all of it constantly surrounded by the pageantry and theater of politics that very few of us down here in the common folk are set to understand or even care about. Constantly screaming the same tired talking points for literal decades, seemingly just to keep the lowest classes confused, jaded, and disillusioned, so that they can carry on with their games in the upper classes and keep a career of politics as the domain of the wealthy and privileged. These two parties have not served you. They do not even know you. These are not people who share our schools and stores, our parks and community centers, our libraries and sports arenas. They are two choices that the common folk have somehow convinced themselves will help, when in actuality, the both of them have long since forgotten what they are doing, who they are serving, or why they are here. Now and forever, we are offering a third choice. A new community brought together to fight extremism on all sides, and to welcome those that would turn away from the violence and toxic rhetoric on the far ends of all sides of the political spectrum. We are here now, together, to wrestle into submission the problems that face us all. We are not interested in fighting each other like squabbling toddlers anymore. The culture war is of no interest to us. But our path is only just beginning. So do not fall on your knees and grieve the nation just yet. Rest, perhaps, but do not quit, for we are not done here. We are only just starting to show the world what America can be. We have only just now stepped off the precipice and have yet to spread our wings. If we band together and open our arms to progress, the winds will catch us and carry us to greener pastures. So do not despair. Nil Desperandum. Now is the time for us to stand strong. Now is the time for us to stand together. Vote progressive. Vote Bull Moose.